Last year it was our first year back, and we saw 3,300 people in 3 weekends. Yeah, so it was huge, and that's the largest we've ever seen. And so this year we're trying to hit that or break it and hit like 4,000. And I'll just jabber jump you.
I'm a graphic designer, illustrator by trade.
I've been an event coordinator for years now.
I've been doing sculpture and painting and ceramics for my whole life. So.
I actually do cosplay stuff for fun, as a hobby. I have no formal training in any of this.
This is our biggest event that we put on, but it's also the most fun because it's where all of us who are on the team, we are in what we love to do.
My name is Stephen Gary. I'm one of the social enrichment program coordinators, and I help kind of oversee and plan the haunted house here. My basement in my house is devoted to all of my cosplay creations and trying different things. And also then I use the haunted house, as a means to try different things that then of course I take back to cosplay. So it's kind of a give and take, back and forth with both of them.
I moved here and got this job and started working with Steven and Terrence last year. I just slowly got into what do you need help with? And then Steven would give me things. So I just, I'm just learning from him, which is cool. I like learning new stuff like this. It makes me feel very accomplished.
Jeff is from My Denver, Melina's from Arts and Culture. We have some other My Denver instructors coming in, and then we have our own staff that work with us as well. So it's really a big group effort.
I've been waylaid into this project. I enjoy it. It's something creative you don't get to do very often. They said, Steve's working on the house, do you want to do that? This was last year. And so I said, sure, I'll do something like that. So I got into that, and we did that, and did Christmas stuff. And then this year they said, you want to do it again? So it wasn't really waylaid. I guess it was my own decision.
This is my second haunted house now, and it's just always a blast. But I've been doing sculpture and painting and ceramics for my whole life.
So I work for the Arts and Culture department in ceramics. So I've been helping a lot with painting and kind of adding some little details to a lot of the sets, a lot of the props. So it's been really fun.
I like doing two things. I like being creative, but I also like doing outreach for events because I'm good at it. And so I get to do that a lot for this event, in terms of volunteer outreach, things like that. Terrence really likes horror too, and he's really great with construction things, and so he gets to kind of take the lead on that sort of stuff. Glenn, who is a coordinator, has a theater background. He is the reason the carnival looks as good as it does. But it's really fun to just be on a team and realize that there are things that I'm not necessarily good at that other people are, so the event is still going to be great.
The haunted house itself has been going on for a long time, and it used to be trash bag walls that used to travel from center to center. And so each year they've kind of grown and developed more and more and more, to the point where now we build out an actual house in St. Charles. We use wood frame walls, we use foam core as the walls themselves, and we get larger props and really make it feel like a house. lot of haunted houses aren't necessarily like youth friendly, and so we offer that ability to take a family with youngers to go as a whole through this haunted house, and we also offer them a chance to go through without being scared. We turn on lights and we allow them to come through and do lights on, no scare, so they can see all the work and decorations, and some of the actors as well to kind of humanize them a little bit. Not too sure.
Our carnival is, it's an event that they decided to come up with just in case there were anyone in a family who maybe didn't like scary. We have games, kids can get tickets, and we have a prize booth. This year, we're trying to add a little bit more of a Halloween-y nature to it, and it's gonna be Addams Family themed, and it's like Hugsley's birthday party. It's kind of the idea of it. With all of our games, we try to think of flexibility, adaptability of them. For instance, last year we had probably about the same amount of games, but a lot of them weren't great for like younger kids. So when we're coming up with games, we're like, okay, is this something that like a little kid, maybe they can't exactly follow these same rules, but is there a way we can make it flexible for someone who is younger? Is there someone we can make it flexible for someone who has a disability, like anything like that? Our Wednesday themed game is like a spider catching game. So we have these like battery operated spiders that just randomly crawl around and you're trying to catch them in a laundry basket, but it's still contained in like a square. So that's probably the scariest you're gonna get in our carnival this year.
I really like the design process and build process because it's one of those things where you start, you keep reminding yourself, trust the process, but then as you continue that process, you see it really start to take shape and come to life.
We typically plan starting at the beginning of the year.
We sit down and talk about, okay, what is our theme, what is our plan for next year's haunted house? So we kind of get a game plan and then we kind of talk about it, do some small soft planning, and then in August we hit the ground running. And that starts with usually some of our bigger decorations and things we know we want to do for sure. So for example, we've got those wood panels on the side of the house. We're working on those. We look and count how many walls that we need. We start organizing room layouts, so what decorations and what things we want for each room, and start building on them. Jeff was a big help in that process where he built a lot of the things you see, like the bed, the kid's bed. We've got a fake TV someone's gonna crawl out of, and then we really start to see it come together when we're out here building it. I am fortunate to have a wonderful supervisor that lets me run with many ideas. And it's a running joke amongst us, like if she hates something, then that means she likes it and it's great. It's scary.
We're creating a child's bed, and it's supposed to kind of display some of their nightmares, some of their creepy thoughts.
You're not gonna see the balloons, but just using them to bulk out some of the shapes.
So we have them crying in bed, some skulls and skeletons chasing them. Just some crazy stuff going on.
Making Jeff a balloon animal because I'm
This was correct a minute ago, and now it doesn't fit.
No!
I'll go over it with kind of a darker brown to see what happens.
Well, I am making this is the washing machine and this is the dryer. Looks like it.
Now this balloon in here is already deflating.
like when I like go over it, it'll start doing that. See what I mean?
Yeah, it's just dry. It's just too dry. That's all. Yeah, but that, I mean, honestly, that's fine.
Well, yeah, because it gives it a more organic look.
Yes.
I'm learning.
Make a new head. Creepy head.
Instead of cutting them up, we do like a mold and use that. So his whole head's gonna be all sealed without duct tape.
Trees were made using these like cardboard carpet rolls, and so what I did is screwed them down into like this wood base, and then once they were all screwed on there, we took expanding foam and just went all the way up and down the tube.
And someone's gonna come out the top of this washing machine, so I gotta cut this top out here. And then we're gonna mess it up, make it all look spooky. So I don't know how they're gonna do that, but that's what we're gonna do. This is patented.
This guy, that wall panel are gonna go together, and these are just gonna, you see like the small example thing right there? It's just gonna build out some of the fungus shapes on this like fungus zombie wall without having it be too heavy for when we transport it.
Well, now it's foam play.
And here, and once this is all done drying, I'm gonna install a hinge so that someone could open it and pop out. But of course it doesn't want to move correctly. It's all in pieces at the moment.
You cut them, and then this one's gonna be coming like a pie. Okay? So,
And this is foam core. This is so easy to work with. You know, I mean, you need to make a mistake, you just do another one. It's not like lumber, you know, where it's, you start really feeling the money you're spending when you make mistakes. And you can do so many things with foam core. You can make anything imaginable, you know, and you don't need power tools. So that's why it's so cool. And so Steve just tells me what we need, and I just figure out the design, you know, and then put it together, and then they do the painting. The really hard part's, I think, the painting and getting it looking spooky and used and worn and rusted. And that's not my forte. I'm really better at constructing the material than letting someone else mess it up.
I've literally never made this before. There, it's curved. Okay. But I just squished it.
I'm painting some different pieces for our masks. These are going to be hung up around the haunted house.
So it's kind of like this.
I'm going to be surrounding this whole thing with clay to kind of give it more texture, build it up a little bit more, and then we'll do that around the whole thing before we paint it and make it look like an actual mask instead of just foam pieces with clay on it.
So you just come here and just goof off for 3 hours and then go home.
Did she tell you like water helps it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Sweet. Back here.
Sorry.
To do some things,
So
yeah.
have kind of the most thin part of the webbing.
Mm-hmm. And like
Be that
the
text.
more glue you put will give you bigger bubbles when you start to get that heat
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
So really cool mold like this, and then we cover this in a plaster, and then that creates a harder shape so that this isn't flopping around. And then once you have the plaster shell, you take a resin and you pour it inside of this silicone mold and you slush it around. It's called a slush cast. And you pour a couple layers in there until it's thin enough to where it's flexible and light but not fragile. And then you demold it, so essentially you kind of peel it itself inside out and remove your cast, and you have what's over there for the hooves. So it's fun little things you can do. I also did it with this skeleton head. We made a skeleton archway last year, and instead of buying, a zillion skulls, I was like, I can just cast it. And so I casted this, the front half, the front of the face. You can kind of see it. there, and it captures all the details. This is what we built using some of those casts of the skull. So you can kind of see all those skulls.
We don't really see it until it starts coming together next month. And then I'll get an idea of what he's really trying to do. Because we don't work off well, they have blueprints, but we don't know what it looks like.
So we are framing out the haunted house. We've got all of our framed wood walls and then all the things we've been working on, decorations and things like that. And we are staging, well, we staged yesterday, and we're building and framing today.
Sometimes.
Some of this are things that we have accumulated over the years. Like one year we got the floor, one year we built the walls, but a lot of it comes from donations now. So we have also partnered with the Denver Convention Center, and it saved a lot of our budget that we can then purchase nicer things. So we got some really nice masks, silicone masks. We've got a, it's called an ankle blaster, but it's like an air cannon that shoots bursts of air at feet and whatnot. So some really elements to like really bump up the production of our haunted house. But right now it's mostly like donation. With they're here.
There you go. It went to turn back around and run, ran into the wall.
Yeah.
And it shoved the entire house.
First purpose is on.
These are our old trees. This one is an old one. One of the first ones that we did, we tested out. And these smaller ones are the newer ones that we did this year after we kind of like learned how we wanted. The big floor with the big like square wood tiles, it's kind of a squish floor. And so we've got a big piece of fake grass, like turf grass, that's gonna lay over top of it. It's gonna create the sensation like you're walking on a very mushy, wet grass. We have all those fake trees that are going to go around it. Really want to capture this sense of like going through like a really murky, swampy-ish forest, and that's really the effect we're gonna have out of that. So I'm really excited to see how that comes together. So something we've done this year that we haven't done in any year is have a hidey hallway. In previous years, we've just had the room, and the actors that we had just had to find a space in that room to hide. Say, if someone's in the living room, which is here, we're gonna have a fake TV that they're gonna crawl out of. Say if they're not gonna crawl to TV, they can come through here, or be in here, and sneak out this way. They can reach out to the window, scare them, and then, or vice versa, come out from the window, crawl through the TV still, and it's all unseen. So it's very seamless. This kind of time is to give you a chance to see said haunted house in all its glory before we go live and have people coming through, and then you're like in it trying to figure out what's going on. So this gives you a time to figure that out. It is a touch-free haunted house. Please be respectful of people's boundaries and bubbles. The Wolfman, the Henchman, and the Ghoul. Okay, you can touch and feel.
So cool.
Put your hands in the mask, and then you're gonna slide it over your head. It's better to go back and then down, and then once it's on your face, you can have a helper. You can adjust it, and there you have it. And it will emote as well as you emote.
Smile.
So it's like really big emotions. Big eyebrows, big jaw opening. when we were making the theme for the haunted house, we go and think and write about the different characters we want.
We have Samara Clicker.
Then I will reach out to our arts and culture department.
I'm also a costume designer and like a theater person from way back, so this is definitely my wheelhouse. I'm really excited.
And I am Rebecca. I'm one of the arts and culture coordinators, and I am a hobby enthusiast. Show me a hobby, I will do it.
And I'll give her like a lookbook, so to speak, and we'll sit and talk about different looks that we want to try and do. And then she'll study it and then go back and draw out, kind of like paint almost, paint looks on some paper, and we'll get back and then meet with that and say, this is what I came up with, this is what we can do.
We're gonna have this buildup of like latex and paint and these prosthetic pieces that are gonna kind of look like these sort of fungus petals. So we'll have a couple of these on the neck. The attack doll has slashed your face and kind of bitten into your neck.
What's her name?
Reagan.
Reagan?
Yes.
Hi, Reagan.
Not right now. Okay, then they're gonna kind of gather up here. They'll come in. This is the living room. We have the TV that we need to finish the cloth that Samara will be able to crawl out of. This is where the attack doll will be.
They're expecting me to come from here, and then I can be over there and swap. It's like
On both ends of the haunted house. You can come in through the window and peek, reach out. The shower will have a access as well behind the curtains. You can crawl out there and stand there, and you cannot be seen when the lights are off when you creep in. This is our Last of Us inspired room, the clicker room. You've got the wells that someone can crawl out of. There's a hole in the back corner. The washing machine top loader actually pops open. Someone can pop their head out. You can't crawl out, but you can pop your head up, reach,
That's good.
do your thing, come back in. In this space, we can work it out, work the scare, but I'll be coming from around that corner and chasing them into the sheets. Okay, if I'm taking a break, that's where a roamer can come in and come from that corner or come from somewhere else. Through the sheets and into our bed area. Lots of things we kind of like throw together, mix and match to create a good look for something.
Under?
Colors before I use them again.
Like that
Gray, yeah, the gray tone instead of like the latexy yellow.
Do you want to be a full skeleton or a half skeleton?
A full one today.
There are shells in my house that only I know get dusty. They never get clean.
Oh, two, sorry.
Turn around.
From the ring.
You ready to be terrified?
Yeah, I think you say terrified.
I think it gives them a fun and safe alternative to what may be out there.
I actually had one of my staff last night come up to me after the carnival and say they had a family who they came last year, and that was like the kids' Halloween memory was our carnival. And so of course they had to come again this year. And so like hearing things like that, just knowing that the community needs and is appreciating and is valuing what we give to them, means a lot.
I like people to have a takeaway, you know, a memory. And so being able to say like, hey, you know, I made this event and someone walked away with a memory years from now, say, oh, I remember that time you got scared at the haunted house, or we saw that weird thing, it was really creepy. That's what I really enjoy and like to kind of keep passing on.
I'll come. Yeah.
No, it gets scarier? Of course. Oh my god, I'm gonna die.